When I was a child, my grandmother used to say, "A tidy table makes a tidy mind." Back then, I didn't understand what she meant. I thought she just liked things neat. But as I've gotten older, I've come to realize she was speaking about more than just furniture or folded napkins. She was talking about peace, about clarity, about creating space for what truly matters. You see, clutter isn't always loud. Sometimes it's silent. It piles up in corners, on countertops, in closets. And before we know it, it starts to settle into our thoughts, making us feel stuck, overwhelmed, or even ashamed. If that feels familiar, I want you to know something. You are not alone, and you are not behind. In today's video, I want to walk beside you, not rush you. I'll share gentle, realistic ways to begin letting go of the clutter in your home, without pressure, without perfection, and always with kindness toward yourself. Because this isn't about getting rid of everything. It's about making room for calm, for comfort, and for your next chapter. Let's take the first step together. Secret number 1, the 15-minute trick. My grandmother used to begin every Saturday morning the same way. She'd wind up a tiny kitchen timer, pour herself a cup of tea, and say, "Let's just do what we can before the water cools." She never rushed. She never aimed for perfection. She simply showed up, with presence, with care, and with a gentle kind of purpose. That kitchen timer? It was her way of saying, "This is enough, for now." As the years passed, I started using the same method in my own home. And let me tell you, it works just as well now as it did back then. You don't need an entire afternoon. You don't need to overhaul your whole house. All you need is 15 quiet minutes. Set a timer. Choose one small space, a drawer, a single shelf, the corner of a room. Put on your favorite music, or let the silence hold you. And simply begin. No judgment, no racing, just 15 minutes of kindness to your space and to yourself. You'll be surprised at how much can shift in that short time, not just physically, but emotionally too. When we give ourselves permission to start small, we remove the pressure that so often keeps us stuck. And here's a little secret I've learned. Most of the time, once you start, you'll want to keep going. But even if you don't, even if you only tidy one drawer, that's still a win. Because progress doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from doing something, gently, consistently, and with heart. So go ahead, set your timer. You've got 15 minutes. Let's see what peace you can make in that beautiful little window of time. Now I'm curious, and maybe this will spark something for you too. If you had just 15 quiet minutes today, what little corner would you start with? Secret number 2, the flat surface rule. There's something quietly powerful about a clear surface, a clean table, an open countertop, a tidy nightstand. They send a message to your mind that says, "You're safe here, you're in control." Flat surfaces are the first things we see when we walk into a room, and whether we realize it or not, they affect how we feel. When these spaces are cluttered, our minds feel scattered. When they're clear, we breathe easier. Flat surfaces tend to attract clutter because they're so accessible. We come in, we drop the mail, set down the bag, add a receipt or two, and soon enough, the table disappears under a layer of life. But you don't need to declutter your whole house to feel better. Start with one surface, just one. Wipe it clean. Put things back where they belong. Then, add something intentional. Maybe a framed photo of your grandchildren, or a small vase with fresh flowers. And then, take a moment. Pause and feel the shift in energy. That's clarity. That's calm. To make this part of your routine, try what I call the evening reset. Before you go to bed, take 2 or 3 minutes to clear off the surfaces you see the most. Your kitchen counter, the dining table, Your favorite reading corner? It's a gentle habit, but over time, it creates an atmosphere of calm that greets you each morning. Flat surfaces are like invitations. They either invite peace or they invite clutter. You get to decide, and the more often you choose peace, the more it becomes your natural rhythm. One clear table at a time. Secret number 3, let your space work for you. Many of us have, at one time or another, blamed our space for our clutter. We've said things like, if only I had more storage, or if this kitchen had better cabinets, I could keep it organized. And I understand that. Truly, I do. It's easy to think that the problem is the space itself. Too small, too awkward, too outdated. But here's a truth I've learned after living in many kinds of homes, from tiny apartments to old houses with no closets. Your space can work for you exactly as it is if you stop fighting against it and start working with it. You don't need fancy shelving or expensive organizers. What you need is creativity and permission. Permission to adapt your space to suit your real life, not some perfect version of it. Use the back of doors to hang lightweight items. Tuck seasonal clothes under the bed. Store kitchen appliances you rarely use in a hall closet. Place baskets where clutter gathers naturally, and let them catch the mess before it spreads. Small shifts like these are simple but powerful. Another idea that changed everything for me is the concept of container limits. It means using containers, not just boxes or bins, but shelves, drawers, even one corner of a cabinet, to set natural boundaries. For example, if you give yourself one basket for bathroom products, that basket becomes the limit. Once it's full, it's time to use what you have or let something go. This quiet rule helps prevent clutter from creeping in because it creates structure without pressure. Instead of saying, I can't get organized in this space, ask yourself, how can I make this space support me better? The question shifts your mindset from frustration to possibility. Because your space, no matter its size or shape, can be a partner in peace, if you let it. Sometimes, one small shift in how we think changes everything. So let me ask, is there a small space in your home that's been frustrating you? And what would happen if you asked, how can this space support me? Secret number 4, be a pile destroyer. Piles are like quiet whispers of everything we meant to do but haven't gotten around to yet. They start small. A few unopened letters, yesterday's newspaper, a pair of reading glasses, a coupon we plan to use. We think we're being smart by stacking things neatly, keeping them in one place. But slowly, silently, those piles grow. They sit on our tables, our chairs, our counters, and eventually on our minds. A pile is not just clutter. It's a collection of postponed decisions. And the more of them we have, the more they start to weigh us down. What's tricky is that piles look better than chaos, so we tell ourselves it's fine. At least everything's together, we say. But the truth is, a pile is a pause, not a solution. It delays resolution. It avoids clarity. And over time, it drains our energy without us even noticing. We walk past the same pile every day thinking, I should get to that. But we rarely do, and the quiet guilt builds up. To change this, we don't need judgment. We need a new rhythm, something gentle and doable. I call it the one-bin method. When a pile forms, and it will, because life is life, don't ignore it, and don't feel like you must sort it immediately either. Just gather it into one small bin or basket. Label it if you want. Something as simple as, to look at later, or this week. What matters is that the pile has a place, and you've acknowledged it. Then, once a week, maybe Sunday morning or a quiet afternoon, take that bin somewhere peaceful. Put on soft music, make tea, go through it slowly. Touch each item with intention. Ask yourself, does this need action? Does it need to be filed, tossed, or passed along? Does it even need to stay in your life at all? You'll be surprised how many things were simply waiting for a moment of your attention. Another thing I've found helpful is creating homes for things that often become piles: mail, keys, reading glasses, medicine bottles. If these items have a home, they're less likely to wander, less likely to pile. Think of it not as organizing, but as kindness to your future self. You're making your space easier to live in, one little home at a time. There's no shame in having piles. We all do. But there is deep power in becoming aware of them, and then gently choosing to do something about it. Each pile you clear is a weight lifted, not just from your table, but from your thoughts. You are not behind. You are not messy. You're simply someone who's ready to turn pause into progress. And that starts with one pile, one bin, one breath at a time. Secret number 5, the 90-day box and the art of letting go. Letting go is hard, not because we're disorganized or lazy, but because every item we own holds a little story. A gift from someone we cared about, a blouse we used to wear to church, a kitchen tool we thought we'd use someday. These things live quietly in our closets and drawers, whispering, "What if?" and "just in case." And when we try to decide whether to keep or part with them, we hit a wall called decision fatigue. That's where the 90-day box comes in. It's not a trick, it's a kindness. Instead of forcing yourself to make a choice when you're already tired, you give yourself space to breathe. Here's how it works. Get a box. Nothing fancy, just something clean and sturdy. As you go through your things, if you pick up an item and feel unsure, not ready to toss it, but not really using it either, place it in the box. Don't overthink it. Just gently say, "I'll decide later." Once the box is full, label it with the date. Then, place it somewhere out of sight. A closet, the garage, under the bed. Set a reminder for 90 days later. During that time, don't open the box, don't peek. Just live your life. Let your space adjust to being lighter. You may be surprised how quickly you forget what's even inside. When the 90 days pass, open the box and notice what you feel. If you haven't missed something, if you didn't reach for it once, if you even forgot it existed, that's your answer. You're ready to let it go. And if there's something inside you realize you do need, that's okay too. Take it back out with intention. But most of the time, you'll find that what felt difficult to release before now feels obvious. The beauty of the 90-day box isn't just in the system, it's in what it teaches us. That we're allowed to take our time. That clarity comes when we create space. That parting with things doesn't have to mean parting with love or memory or worth. It simply means we're choosing to live with less noise, less weight, and more room for what matters most now. This practice is not about decluttering perfectly. It's about honoring the pace that's right for you. It's about making room with grace, not guilt. And it's a reminder that letting go isn't something we force. It's something we grow into, one peaceful decision at a time. Here's something to reflect on, especially when you're not quite ready to let go. What's one item you've held on to that you're just not sure about? Would putting it in a 90-day box help ease that decision? Secret number 6, buy less, live more. Every item in our home today was once a choice, a moment in a store, a click online, a gift received, or a bargain too good to pass up. And over time, all those choices added up, filling drawers, closets, shelves, and sometimes our peace of mind. Decluttering, as helpful as it is, becomes an endless task if we keep bringing new things in without thought. That's why learning to buy less isn't about depriving yourself. It's about protecting the space you've worked so hard to reclaim. When you begin letting go of clutter, something interesting happens. You start to notice patterns. The same kinds of items show up again and again. Unopened candles, unread books, kitchen gadgets you used once, and you start to ask, why did I buy this? That quiet question opens a door to freedom, because it's not about blaming yourself for what's already here. It's about becoming more intentional from now on. One of the most powerful habits I've developed is what I call a pause before purchase. The moment you feel the urge to buy something, pause, take a breath. Ask yourself, do I truly need this? Will I use it regularly? Do I have something similar at home? Will this bring me peace, or will it become clutter in disguise? This small pause, just a few seconds, can save you from a future pile, a future donation bag, a future sigh of regret. Another tool that's helped many people, including myself, is something called a no-buy month. It's exactly what it sounds like. A month where you commit to buying only necessities, groceries, medicine, household essentials. Everything else waits. You don't buy new clothes, books, decorations, or gadgets. And instead of focusing on what you can't have, you shift your energy toward noticing what you already have. You find joy in using what's in your pantry, discovering old favorites in your wardrobe, reading the books already on your shelf. At first, it might feel strange, even uncomfortable. But as the days pass, you begin to feel lighter, more in control. You realize how often we shop not out of need, but out of habit, boredom, or emotion. A no-buy month gently breaks that pattern. And by the end, you may not even want the things you were eyeing before. Buying less isn't about restriction. It's about intention. It's about choosing things with care and awareness. It's about building a home that reflects your values, not just your purchases. And when you stop filling your life with more things, you make space for what truly matters: connection, rest, presence, and joy. So the next time you're tempted to buy something new, remember this: every item you choose not to bring home is one less thing you'll have to clean, store, or one day let go. And in that choice, there is quiet power. Secret number 7. Reverse decluttering. Sometimes the hardest part about decluttering is not knowing where to start. When every cabinet is full, every drawer packed tight, and every shelf is layered with items you've collected over a lifetime, even the idea of letting go can feel overwhelming. That's where reverse decluttering becomes a powerful ally. It's a gentle, thoughtful method that begins not with deciding what to discard, but with choosing what to keep. Here's how it works. Instead of pulling out a pile and trying to figure out what should go, you start by emptying everything from a space, a drawer, a shelf, even an entire room. Clear it completely. Then pause, breathe. Look at that empty space and ask yourself, what do I actually use? What do I truly love? What deserves to live here? Slowly, one by one, place only those essential or meaningful items back into the space. Everything else stays in a box for now. That box becomes your observation space. Set it aside, in a closet, the basement, or under the bed, and live with just the items you intentionally returned. Over the course of a few weeks or months, you'll quickly discover what you truly need. The things you never reach for, the items you don't even miss, those are the ones you're ready to release. You don't need to decide all at once. Time does the deciding for you. I used this method when we renovated our kitchen a few years ago. I packed everything into boxes and only put back what we needed that first week. The coffee mugs, the cutting board, the pot I use every morning for oatmeal. As weeks went by, I noticed there were boxes I never opened, tools I hadn't thought about, dishes I didn't miss. And that's when I knew. Those things weren't serving me anymore. They were simply lingering from a different season of life. Reverse decluttering removes the pressure to make quick decisions. It offers clarity without the stress. And perhaps most beautifully, it gives you the gift of rediscovering your space. An empty drawer isn't wasted space. It's space that's available for breathing room, for flexibility, for the next chapter of your life. You deserve a home that reflects who you are now, not just who you were. And sometimes, that means creating space for the present by gently releasing what no longer belongs. Reverse decluttering reminds us that we don't have to force ourselves to let go. We can simply choose to live with what we love and let the rest fade away in its own time. Here's a simple thought experiment. Just imagine it for a moment. If you emptied one drawer or one cabinet today and only put back what you use, what might stay in the box? And would you even miss it? A mindset shift. It's not too late, and it's not about less. It's about meaning. So many people tell me, I'm too old to start decluttering now. Or they say, what's the point? I've lived this way for so long. It's too late to change. And I always respond gently with the same truth. It is never too late to choose peace. Decluttering isn't about catching up. It's about honoring where you are right now and creating space for ease, comfort, and clarity in the years ahead. Letting go of things is not about losing your past. It's about making peace with it. Our homes are filled with reminders of who we've been, the dresses we wore to weddings, the tools we used when our hands were steadier, the decorations we saved from every holiday. These things matter. They hold stories, but they don't have to hold space forever. You can honor a memory without keeping the object forever. You can remember your life without being buried in its leftovers. The shift begins when we stop asking, what am I getting rid of? And start asking, what do I want to live with? The question is not about reducing, it's about refining. It's not about having less. It's about surrounding yourself with only what supports you, comforts you, and brings you joy in this chapter of your life. There is dignity in simplicity, not minimalism in the cold modern sense, but in the soft, human kind. The kind where every item in your home has a purpose, or a smile attached to it. Where you don't have to dig through clutter to find what you need. Where you don't feel burdened by too many maybes and what ifs and, I should keep this just in case. As we age, we begin to realize that energy is precious. Our time, our strength, our focus. All of it becomes more meaningful. And the truth is, clutter pulls on those things every day. It takes a little of your attention, a little of your peace, a little of your comfort, without giving much back. So when you begin to release what no longer serves you, you're not just clearing a shelf or a drawer. You're reclaiming your energy for what matters most. Some people fear that letting go means forgetting. But in truth, the opposite is often more real. When you let go of the noise, the distractions, the overfull closets, you can actually see your memories more clearly. You notice the treasures. You take time with them. You place them in the light, instead of letting them sit in darkness behind piles of things you don't even recognize anymore. You're not your stuff. You're your stories, your wisdom, your kindness. And those don't live in boxes or bags. They live in how you show up, how you love, and how you choose to move forward. So yes, this is a mindset shift. From pressure to permission. From guilt to grace. From I should to I choose. It's about remembering that you're still in charge of your space. Your space is not in charge of you. And even if you begin today with one small decision, you are still creating a life that reflects your heart, not just your history. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want to remind you of something simple, yet powerful. Decluttering is not about clearing everything out. It's about clearing space inward so that your life, just as it is now, can breathe a little easier. one drawer, one corner, one quiet decision at a time. You've lived many seasons. Each one brought treasures, challenges, stories, and sometimes too many things. But your worth is not found in what you keep or what you let go. It's found in your presence, in your wisdom, in the way you choose peace over pressure, grace over guilt. If all you do after watching this is clear one small shelf, that's enough. If all you do is pause before your next purchase, that's enough. You're not behind. You're right where you need to be. And this moment, this day, can be your new beginning. Now, I'd love to hear from you. In the comments, tell me, what's one little step you'll take this week to bring more calm into your space? And if something in this video touched your heart, please subscribe to our channel and share it with someone you care about. You never know whose day or life it might gently change. Thank you for spending this time with me. May your home become a soft place to land. May your days feel lighter, not from doing more, but from carrying less. And above all, may you always remember, you are not your clutter. You are your clarity. Until next time, be kind to yourself and to others.